Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kentucky Route Zero. Too low. I have just come to an interesting discovery, and that is the fact that I have just learned that the band GWAR did a cover of Chappell Rowan's Pink Pony Club, and I just think that more people need to know this. It's never something I would have called. I'm not a huge follower of GWAR, but I've come across them in passing, and I know that the metal band GWAR. I have linked it in chat. Know that it is somewhat not safe for work, given that it is in fact the band GWAR. Yes. It's nothing I would have called. It's fascinating, and I'm thrilled, honestly. I think it's great. Yeah, it's also Pink Pony Club, which is fun in its own regard. I have adjusted my face. Dragon Force did a cover of Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams. Oh, that's awesome. I should take a look at that. I love weird pivots like that, like weird little one-off pivots of just like, why have you done this? Why not? And I think that's cool. Oh, right. What I was saying was, I am trying to mess with sound a little bit more with the game, keeping it at a bit of a higher volume than it has been. I was watching back the VOD of Pathologic yesterday a little bit with Scoop, who was catching up on what she missed, and I found out that you basically just can't hear the game on the VODs, and I suspect that it may be similar on stream. Given that it just straight up copies the stream audio. So, I'm gonna try keeping the game a little bit louder. Please let me know if it's too much. Please let me know if I'm too quiet, which would be a first. But yeah, thank you for your patience in this trying time of me developing competence over a long period of time. But, in the interim, we are going to move on to Kentucky Route Zero. There is something on my mic, and if I don't get it, it would drive me insane for the entire stream. Hello, Pancakes. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. I needed to inform you as well, if you weren't here earlier, that GWAR has done a cover of Chappell Rowan's Pink Pony Club, and I just think that that's an amazing thing to have happen in the year of our Lord 2026. It's just a good thing. But yeah, let's get to the game, and let me know about sounds. I don't remember if we spoke to this guy. I also don't remember most of the voices that I was doing. A man wearing large glasses inspects the ceiling. I think we spoke to him. Oh, right. We were going to go interact with the mold computer. That was our focus. We need to go talk to the mold machine. I think we did everything but the mold machine last time. Right, we're traveling with a robot woman now. Yeah, there's a computer here. I don't remember if we'd gotten to that yet, but this computer has mold in it, and the mold is integral to how it functions for some reason. In Xanadu, did Kubla Khan. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Which Discworld is that? I don't think I've read that one. I've read an embarrassingly little amount of Discworld. I need to read more of. Xanadu. At Den of Ardo. A computer of sorts. Yo, I think this shit's broke. Try blowing on it. Conway blows some dust. Okay, I can already tell that this is a little loud. Conway blows some dust off the keyboard and presses the return key. Okay, that's worse. Try typing help? Conway, hail. Blood quit. Time for some percussive maintenance. Conway thumps the side of the machine with his palm. Oh, I'm the portable degasser with me. Old systems like this one can build up a remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along with whatever pattern it's settled into, you know? The degasser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around it until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Like shaking a snow globe. Worth a shot. Oh, thank God. Hall of the Mountain Gink. Well, okay. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Is the computer done screaming at us? Holy shit. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. To Donald. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. I don't think it should. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Is that the end? The chalky bones of a beautiful dream. But you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence based on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. And then it began to crumble when the strangers came. At first, we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then, we caught a glimpse of one. What did they look like? They look like... No, it's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me. But it's too late now. If I'd listened to Lula,
Lula? Lula Chamberlain?
Yes, of course. Oh, do you know her?
We're looking for her now.
No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together, did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula's gone from here, but...
Donald points across the cave with his pipe.
Still in there. In Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damn tangled highway. But Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation. Until, but maybe, these weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them to repair my masterpiece. Anytime Xanadu comes up, I just have Swedish disco band ABBA singing in my head. That's fair. I immediately just instantly launch into the poem, but I only know the first line of the poem, so it just does that line and nothing else. Back there, that tunnel. Push back the vines, crawl out into the darkness. Watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal, and then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. You smoking the mold, Donald? What the fuck? Brother, I don't think you should do that. Act 3, Scene 7. Where the strangers come from. Oh, Xanadu's Olivia Newton-John, not ABBA, but it sounds identical. Honestly, you fooled me. I genuinely believed, like, yeah, that's ABBA, probably. Sure fucking sounds like it. Strangers are from Strange Lands. I thought the strangers were in Strange Lands. Is it both? Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. We're to look inside. I guess.
I want to stay outside.
Why?
I think I saw a lizard.
I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. John Peterson, generous disposition, will be missed. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8191T, fill date June 29th, notes of almond. Seeing a lizard is a perfectly acceptable reason to stay outside, you're right. An epitaph is engraved onto the stone grave marker. Eric Pidcamini and Crystal Belvaux. We think you two would really have liked each other. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8192B, fill date July 24th. Weird finish. John Peterson, the farmer? An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Joe Hughes. Always had a far-off look. Probably still does. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8192E, fill date August 1st. August 1st. Oh. Dude. Once. HT8192E, fill date August 1st. Aftertaste of rainwater. August 1st. Steve Christophers or Don Edgecombe. HT8192N, fill date September 8th. Sweet and fungal. Are they wine? Corpse wine? You making corpse wine? Chris Delio would have wanted it this way. HT8192Q, fill date September 9th. Maple/turpentine. Odd notes. Corpse wine! An epitaph is engraved on the stone marker. Kyle Pinches should have said something. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8192X, fill date November 1st. Sense of foreboding. I'm just gonna own it now. An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Unknown. Seemed reasonable. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8192Y, fill date November 2nd. Easy on the nose. Find any lizards? I wasn't really looking. Nice cover story, kid. Do you have a family? Well, I've got Johnny, the vicious cycle. I've got you folks right now. Is that a family? Let's call it what it is. Junebug and the people she surrounds herself with. See? It means something. It makes a claim. It's specific. I want to be specific. I think you are. It's the middle of the night, and here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You've just got to make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter and all gray, no eyes. They were going to have us cleaning out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear. An old tape player. We hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over, and we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. I feel more like myself every day. I feel more like myself when it's just me and Julian. Well, there. Now you're getting specific. There you are. What'd you find in there? It wasn't. Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man.
It doesn't matter.
Right, okay, we got what we need. Let's go. I'm sure something normal happened there. Act 3, Scene 8. Hall of the Mountain King.
Trace an orbit round the road and close your eyes with holy dread, for we on mold and whiskey fed and drank from rivers down below.
We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine. But I'm not sure it was worth it.
Oh, soon the visions will return. What have you found?
They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal.
But the mold, of course. Too much mold on the timing crystal would send the simulation adrift. Each moment lived out of sync. By all means, yes, clean the timing crystal.
You have anything new to say now that we're back, Andrew? Or are you still just chilling? The man wearing glasses inspects the ceiling. You're just chilling. Do you see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right, we're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Act 3, Scene 9.
Xanadu. Xanadu. At end of road.
You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building.
Around you is a forest.
Check out the building.
Enter building.
Inside building. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There is a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern.
Get lantern.
Taken.
Exit building. Enter forest.
That's not something you can enter. Just type a direction.
North.
In forest.
I like that I can just be gossip whenever.
You are in an open forest with a deep valley to one side. Head back south to that building. No. Can we climb a tree?
Climb tree.
I don't think much is to be achieved by that.
Sorry.
Can we dig a hole?
Dig a hole.
You can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary.
South.
You're in a forest. Hey, it's a maze. South?
South.
You're in a forest. Lula is here soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. Oh, we should talk to her.
I asked Lula how she is doing.
Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I pick up sounds so distant and muffled.
Lula hands you the radio.
Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. South?
South.
You're in a forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. A small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. Maybe he has something to say. Oh no, your connection hiccuped. Hopefully it's just a minor one.
Those are always irritating.
Maybe he has something to say.
Listen.
Donald! I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index card he's been tapping on from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, drearily gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald. Ha! Howdy, Myth, welcome in. I've been noting down the sounds of the forest with an ear for speech, and an inborn filter for poetry, I suppose. So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystems makes of these punched cards. South?
At edge of hole. The hole. The hole. Conway. The hole.
You are at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope, slung around your shoulder, has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Shine the lamp into the hole?
Light lamp.
Your lamp is now on.
Shine lamp in hole.
The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole where the rock is coated in this slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. Try using the rope to climb down safely. Tie rope to tree. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. In bed quilt. You are in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip. So, everything's down here now. Set up the gear. Set up gear. I only understood you as far as wanting to set the up above. Set the up above? Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald. We may as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice, so we won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punched cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader. And you've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her where the treasure is. Ask Lula where the treasure is. Ha! If we knew that, we wouldn't have to set up down here. I know you think this environment will help our project, get us in touch with a deep romantic reverence for some kind of profound natural spookiness, but I was more comfortable in our lab. The university picked the worst time to cut our funding. Typical institutional stinginess and academic politics. I mean, I felt like we were getting really close to something... Anyway, I don't know if it's sustainable down here. You know, to live and work here together. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Hey, Donald, can you help me, wire up these generators? I'll assemble this synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from the tunnel to the east. Maybe if we help Lula, she'll have some more to tell us. Help Lula. Thanks, Donald. I can never remember which color lead goes to which pin. Lula begins unpacking a box of wires and terminals. Do you think there are paintings down here? Cave paintings, I mean. Maybe some old pottery shards from when the world was young and early men and women huddled in these caves to... Do you know, I think cultural fossils are the saddest fossils. Sadder than animal remains, I mean. We might come across a petrified mollusk or a partial dinosaur footprint and we say, there's a point of contact here where a body touched the earth, and maybe there's a little bit of evidential garbage, but the life who owned that body never cared and has moved on anyway. And that's the end of it. But suppose I shine my lantern on one of these walls and I see a crude painting thousands of years old. 2 men and a woman. Charcoal and blood on rock. Someone put that there to keep something on the rock after she passed. A hope, a relationship or a moment, a worry, maybe, a regret. She made a painting to keep something alive for her, but like that dead mollusk and the itinerant dinosaur, she had to move on. Whatever it was is gone. And now we're looking at this painting. This dangling copy with no original. You are interrupted by the ominous echo of a grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before.
What the hell was that?
Let's check it out. There is a dog going fucking nuts outside my window. He lost that shit. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. How do you like all this, kid?
There's a lot of reading, but I'm really good at that anyway.
The tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward as smooth rock gives way to jagged, crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In Crystal Room. Skeleton! Be gone! You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls and floor and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak.
Finally!
Let's listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, and then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment. Then he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Run northeast. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourself cornered. You have hit a dead end. Who are they? Let's find a way out of here. Escape. That's not a verb I recognize. Look for escape. You can't see any such thing. Listen, I think they've gone back to work. They seemed strange somehow. Maybe they've forgotten about us? All right, let's try to pass them quickly. Don't make eye contact. Then, we'll find our way back to the equipment. In Bedquilt. You're in Bedquilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula is here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? Search for him. Search. I only understood you as far as wanting to search. We have to be more specific. Oh, with the equipment? Search equipment. The various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Down one of the tunnels. Search tunnel. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they are impossible to identify. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above.
That damn sound, those damn voices. I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here. And I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there lost in the tunnels, I came across the Zero. And I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they work and go to church. But it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned in my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor.
Lula looks down at her feet. What's up with Lula? Ask Lula what is up.
Nothing. Just... Joseph, you sound disturbed. Lula, you've heard the same damn stories I have. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Getting back on track. We're so close.
Divert Joseph's attention. You shout something at Joseph about the project you are working on together.
You'll die in these damn cold caves. And what about those men? They'll come back. Tell him we can find somewhere to start a fire.
Suggest finding somewhere safe to start a fire. You shout something at Joseph about going deeper into the caves.
Did you hear their voices? They're not. They'll find you. But not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop. Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damned cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to the Zero. I think we need her to stay.
Ask Lula to stay. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration.
I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damn machine does with it.
Lula and Joseph have left. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted with the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick. Sounds like Beardo had his heart broken. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius.
How do you mean?
Vain.
Vanity. Ain't it the truth? My Aunt Remedios, before she got into the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter. Mostly nudes and oil. She had this model. I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy. Looked like he was about to storm Troy. He made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. You couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing the light from room to room while Aunt Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked on the right mix of pigment for his abdomen. The Colonel had this magnificent hair, long black hair that just ran down to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening, he was standing next to an open window in the back of the house. The sun was setting, early spring, I think. It was kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get his hair right. She kept arranging it, like half in front and half behind, running over his shoulder, laying across his chest in this very specific way.
but it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird, indignant shuffle thing, or the wind from the open window would push it around, and he'd start and turn his neck when Weaver or I ran by, and everything would be tangled again. The final product was a swirl of black lines billowing around the top of his neck. Weird thing is, I don't even remember his face now. Just that black swirl. Probably the best one she's ever painted. Hall of the Mountain King. Get degaussed, idiot. After what may have been years, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cavernous, open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous, rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Ooh, can we play Xanadu inside Xanadu? Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistants to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Let's go. Oh. Sleep. Sleep. I didn't mean to click that. Time passes. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 9%. Hire a new research assistant. Hire. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Rick, who studies library sciences. Hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. No new applicants. Try again later. Assign assistants to a task? Assign. You may assign research assistants to debugging, transcription, or speculation. Speculation. Assigning available research assistant to speculation. Sleep. Rick muses about the love lives of fungal colonies. Greasy black mold is collecting on computer equipment. Now is the time to continue your work. Romance index 22%, mold coverage 17%, 1 research assistant. Hire a new research assistant. You have hired Mary Ann, who studies fine art. Assign research assistants to more speculation. I'm showing up for 10 seconds on a workday of 6 hours of meetings. Holy fuck, Scoop. That is too much. Hopefully it's over now. Or are you running further to another meeting? Ah, physical trainer, I see. At least it's not a meeting. I'm gonna keep assigning everyone to speculation. I want to see what they keep speculating about. Sleep. Mary Ann discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Rick makes a convincing argument for the edibility of stone. Intruders! Mary Ann's your grandma's name, Bridge. That's cool. Apparently, she is throwing out centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Now is the time to continue your work. I'm not convinced this is getting us any closer to the 0. Research assistants 2. Romance index 42%. Mold coverage 0%. They took my mold! Try to quit and start over. I want to keep playing! Come on, kid, we've got stuff to do. Quit. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. That was a rhetorical question. Exit? Exit. Grandma turned 90 this year, too. Congratulations to her. It's a hell of a while. But you aren't in anything at the moment. Maybe we have to lose or die somehow in order to start over? Eat the lamp! Eat lamp. Don't be ridiculous. Maybe we have to wait it out. Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. One of them, the mathematician named Weaver, follows the strangers into the tunnels. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Years pass, mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. It leaves behind a sweet, narcotic perfume. One night you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then, later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Huh. Act 3, Scene 10. Hall of the Mountain King. Trying to say it with the same enthusiasm that guy says Full Metal Alchemist. Hall of the Mountain King. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So this is what became of our project.
Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill.
Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, would you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it?
I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. I should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to...
I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain.
How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge.
Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Have a good rest of the stream. Gotta go. Have a good personal trainer. Hopefully it's not as crushing. And thanks for dropping by.
Now we too recede into history.
Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray and turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. Someone left a portable tape recorder on the path. It doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. I don't remember if we saw these on the way up. I think we did. A bookshelf was carried only partway up the path here before the project was abandoned. It's still useful. The peak of the spire is crowded anyway. The sensible modern electric lantern has been left here. The batteries have long since died. Thanks for waiting, Blue. We were gone a bit longer than expected. Ran into some trouble, Blue, I won't lie to you. What happened up there? Just a bunch of computers. Johnny yawns. They get back in the truck. Okay, we're driving counterclockwise to the cathode ray and then turning around. Cathode ray. Euro. Act 3, Scene 11. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Got the time, Blue? Nah, you don't care about that. Maybe I should be more like you. Alright. Let's say Ultramarine or Walmart stuff. Now that we have reached about the midpoint, I'm going to run a 3-minute ad break and go AFK myself real quickly during that. So we will resume the course of this game in about 3 minutes. Grab a drink, use the restroom, do whatever you gotta. See you in a few. And we're back-ish. Ads aren't over yet, but I'm here. Got some fun ideas for what I'm going to be doing on the off-pathologic stream coming up. Thinking I may start Scarlet Hollow. I've been very excited about that. I've been talking to Alan about it the other day. It's not quite finished yet, which is the only problem that I have with it, but apparently there is a lot of game there, and it's really good. I think trying that out could be fun. All right. We are now back to the actual game. Cats have been fed. Excellent. Speaking of cats, there's a little cat right here. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? The results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had Rick cross-reference their results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. Peso's been yelling at me on and off for like an hour because I hadn't fed her yet. Yeah, that sounds like cats. They're good at telling time, sort of. They're good at telling approximate time and then demanding that it becomes a specific time. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. Those are the names from the Xanadu game. Yep. The Xanadu thing was talking about real events that had happened, but like by prediction purposes. And then it unified with what was actually happening at the exact time that Lula arrived on the scene. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there. Did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped, anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks. And deep. Junebug and her little servo hips. How long do we have to wait? Who knows? All right, what happened? Up to you. It's okay. You can tell. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So, we were in that graveyard. Act 3, Scene 12. Where the strangers come from. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Or to look inside. I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. The church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flecks by unknown boot heels. A handmade apparatus for the production of moonshine, assembled from scavenged metal and natural materials. I don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... You don't have to talk about it. No, it's okay. I want to. When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation, and she was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly, ran away. But we thought... You thought she was dead? Yeah. I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are a blank kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings and desks. A classroom, maybe? The camera is in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room, and there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound. Just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted, fuzzy. Shannon coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all these holes in the ceiling... What the hell was that? Did you hear that? Must have been the church settling. Must have... There we go. Down we go. Oh, it's the underground skeleton church. Oh, I'm the skeleton. The stranger activates a tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient and sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't get a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you'll hear about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. We're actually looking for some information about an old computer. Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Well, it's not an old church. No, I guess not. But still, it all has a kind of reverence to it. What's that smell? Like bread? Baking bread? Please follow me. I have to ask you to step in here just a moment. This is for your safety, and adjust your outfits just a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. I'm not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only a courtesy to... Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway. Just this way. Wear a helmet. OSHA regulations state you gotta wear a helmet when you're on the factory floor. More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What formula? Huh? Oh, the formula. Changed our lives. Once, years ago, we were prisoners to the intricacies of our debts here. We'd have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest by hand, reassessing amortization and leveraged asset distributions according to the nightly merit decay. Then, she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics and a saint-like way of speaking right through the numbers. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula and run it all through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us on all the necessary adjustments. OSHA regulations also state you're supposed to wear your shoes. Yeah, you're right. It was devastating to see our revered mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides. We actually just need to ask you about a computer. No, the orientation is all done by voice and rote. We don't believe electronics have a role in our company culture. Computers are tools. Plenty of interest in mechanical this and that ahead, though. Shall we move on? Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. How do you think they keep it like that? Maintenance, old man. I bet it's someone's job around here. Probably hard to keep all the dust out, you know, underground. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. It seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, you know? Like that computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? Oh, cool, I can degauss the skeletons. This is Earl. He used to be a beekeeper. Borrowed some used casks to store the hives, but the interest accrued more quickly than the honey. Now he works for us here in logistics. Here's the fleet. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church, purifying spirits by handmade fire, a kettle and a dream. So, the trucks are just east a ways in shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Yeah, so in kind of the point and click style, when you click, that's like where you're going, but the icon of that happening is a horseshoe going around the pin. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facility's sublime machinery. What's going on over here, Skillerman? Nothing. I know shipping's that way, but I want to look at other stuff first. What's going on here in distillation? I've been lurking here, but now I must go and dinner is ready. Good luck. Mushroom time. Have a good dinner. I echo Bridget's sentiment. Thank you for being here and even lurking. I appreciate it. I love lurkers all the same. I know that this isn't a particularly interactive game. Mostly just me reading funky shit. Connie, how's your rat? Connie is a great lover of animals. Do you know she's adopted over a dozen pets in as many years? Of course, death comes to all things great and small. The distillery found that the remains in her makeshift pet cemetery were trespassing on our subterranean property. Our hand was forced. In order to avoid the legal extinguishment of our easement, we were required to file a civil suit. Ever the level head, Connie agreed to a pre-court settlement to pay off her fines by working for us here. Don't let them catch you looking too closely here. Not within our purview. What's it for? Keeps us honest in the eyes of the state. Well, in the eyes of the management, anyway. We keep pretty well out of view down here. Not much chance of being spotted by helicopter, hey? But if the law came a-knocking, you could say we were logging and securing our virgin spirits. We could say. Marvelous engineering, though, isn't it? Feel that draft of warmth, like a summer breeze. This is the Agent Warehouse. It's heated artificially? 100%. Draws a lot of electricity to tame this cold, rocky cave, I'll tell you that. Of course, we only have half our agent stock in here at any given time. Most distilleries let their whiskey sit in casks through the cycle of seasons. In summer, the wood expands and the whiskey seeps in, picking up flavor. In winter, the wood contracts and squeezes the whiskey back out. Down here, there are no seasons. Each workday proceeds from the last in an unbroken chain of climate control. So we make our own seasons. Each cask alternates in a weekly cycle between the cold ground upstairs and this heated warehouse. It has not escaped my attention that these casks are coffins. They are cask-its, if you would say. So I guess these are like before and after? I wonder what they keep the old casks around for. They smell nice for a little while, but it's pretty overpowering. No way around that smell. No way to clean them after the aging process. I mean, it's a one-way street. Alright, now I think it's time to go to shipping. You don't like my casket pun? Here it is. Now I have to ask as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Ah, precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger. But, if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glasses dashed across the interstate, and a few casks, too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that load, come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Introduce yourself. They'll dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. You folks know anything about a moldy old computer? You folks? 99 wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Control the wipers with the knob here. Doolittle fiddles with the controls. They seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risks. You folks watch the weather closely. I wouldn't know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility? I wouldn't know if the rain if it drowned me. They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. All review. He was a lost cause and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored. It was time to cut out. Shitty day for it, though. 83 and biblical flood. They went to see a movie. It was some anonymous swashbuckler film about real men and women, real tights, real lips, fake blood. They brought a flask. They smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted to once have loved. Brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. They poured another drink. And another, and another. She worried it was getting dark out, then it was getting light out. They ended up in someone else's field, in someone else's car. An early morning joyride, and a sunrise collision. She got on the bus, and he hiked back to his car. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. It seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting.
A modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. Oh, sure, I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires. That's a thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely! A truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver, but he didn't have that quality of deference.
Conway sat in a dim room of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee as it is. He listened. The speaker listed all the things we tried, that we, most people in the room were probably there by court order. A few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action, a good, orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual. All the things we tried. Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He knew it was time to hit the bar. It was good to get out of the heat, away from the mendacity. He settled into it. Someone else from the meeting was here, looking rough. He focused on the television. A nature show was playing, something about river dolphins. They cruised the Amazon, eating psychedelic frogs and having weird adventures. At night, they transformed into attractive young partygoers and wore hats to cover their blowholes.
Now what else can we show you? Headlights work fine, see?
Doolittle fiddles with the controls.
That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh?
Drivers sleep in the day, then?
Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know? Sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous.
Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. He watched traffic and birds. Seeing those migrations up close, they looked random. He thought about the load in the trailer, thousands of plastic cups. Someone wanted those cups in Rockford that night. The Amazon dolphin thing is a real myth, sort of like a selkie? Really? I didn't know that. Interesting. It was pointless.
So, moving on. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good, strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift, stacking and loading here.
Did Miguel lift his own trucks? Load his own trucks?
He did. It was a jealously guarded task for him. If I didn't know the man better, hear me now, if I say I didn't know the man better, I might have suspected he was skimming off the top.
Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lizette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Yeah, thank you. I'm very interested in fun little folklore stuff like that. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. They couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lizette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along, and Conway drifted out again, and he didn't hear about the accident until months later. So, what's next? The truck's radio crackles back to life.
Driver, come back.
Ah, there's dispatch. Now tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Oh, shit.
Truck looks good.
We've been over every inch of it, dispatch. Like it just came off the assembly line.
1033 dispatch, got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles, come back.
10-4, back it down and prick your eyelids, driver.
Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder.
Conway remains silent.
Dispatch is addressing you.
He's here, dispatch.
Get your ears on. Good, listen to this. Silence.
So, I think that went well. Let's head back to Up to Logistics and seal the deal, eh? And I got one more thing to show you. I'm not controlling it. He did that terrible, 8-point turn all on his own. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh! The old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air, the angel share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff. So we go down and scrape it off his equipment just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid, truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure that mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning it off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs. If you don't mind. Our hard hats. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations. You're hired. Wait, we can't. It's customary to start each day with a shift drink.
Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is top shelf stuff now. Single barrel.
He doesn't...
Down the hatch, Venum Memoriae Mors.
I don't want to drink. It is moving my mouse without my consent.
Decent enough. Welcome aboard.
He's not working for you. We have to get back to this... He has a delivery to make.
What's this? Not working?
Are you turning down this opportunity?
She's right. I have to make this, disappointed. And I'm afraid this leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's the matter of this tour just now, my time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is no good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep by the back of the envelope estimations. Well, we have that in common, I suppose. All of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it.
What's happening right now?
You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately. And, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then.
Alcoholism.
So, I guess I start in the morning.
I guess. I'm confused.
That's just the way these things go, kid.
Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry?
Alcoholism and coercive hiring methods, yeah. It's the Mammoth Ferry. End of Act 3. Here and there along the echo. This is the one that's a phone tree. So this is going to be not much of me reading. As a note, I do believe you can call this number in real life if you would like to do this phone tree yourself. As of a couple of years back, it still existed. I'm pretty sure it probably still does. But...
797.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again,
I don't remember dialing this
You
number.
don't remember dialing this number. You just sort of woke up with the phone pressed to your ear, ringing on the other end. Or maybe you thought you dialed a different number, but your digits betrayed you. Or there's a faulty connection somewhere out there in that spiderweb lattice of phone cords that covers all of creation. It must be kind of a nice feeling, really. It's like you and I just bumped into each other in the street or a little cafe. Say, next time you meet a stranger, call us back.
That's the one,
at
Rich.
extension 7864
Eureau,
and
I
hand
believe.
them the phone. We'd love to get to know them. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide,
Cool. Ready to go? Yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it will just be a lot of me sitting here listening to a phone tree. I highly encourage everyone, if you would like, to call the number 270-301-5797 and do your own adventures along the phone tree of the Bureau of Secret Tourism. It's a really fun and cool thing, and I remember doing it at like 2 in the morning. French loanwords, derogatory. But I don't want to sit here, and I don't think it would be a particularly conducive streaming thing to just sit here in silence while a phone plays. So I think I'm just going to move on to the first scene of Act 4, and that's probably where we're going to wrap for the day. But I do want to ask, was that audible and clear, the phone stuff? Has the audio been better? 5.4 Context Backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus, 5A1, may result in an undesirable play between teeth and the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Oh yeah, you could definitely hear it. Fantastic. Well, this is not at all helpful. Table of contents. Introduction. Installation. Orientations. Order of operations. Passage of time. Gestures. Final notes. Must be missing a page or something. My savior! Our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? Time to put that mammoth out to pasture, Will. Oh, I feel certain she's got a few trips left in her. If only she had a more capable surgeon. Sadly, mechanics are in short supply down here. I think the setting is too romantic. It scares them off. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight? I always end up here eventually. The river's just like that. It always has been. We picked you up at the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. Hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah. Have you been there? The Zero? Oh no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people. And some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. New dog.
How's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea? Let's mix up some slippery elm, instant coffee, and dried sprig asparagus. Let's mix up some slippery elm, instant coffee, and dried spring agaricus. Just add some swamp snake and that'd be a love potion. I'm teasing. Or am I?
How far are we from Dogwood Drive?
The Echo's dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is the silo mail stop, but we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business, mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute, all dotted on the riverbanks from here to there. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities, fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean, weird. Watch out that the VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy.
What's wrong with the VCR? I can take a look.
Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road.
I love the big robo mammoth, honestly. For we are all whiskey fed. Oh! What gears? What gears? Probably, who knows? First thing I tried anyway, down here by this little blue box. I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and then I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound, but the trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? Kate was asking if you need anything when we stop. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket? I think she meant like parts or... I wouldn't know if I did. What's your story, Will?
A story? Well, I like to listen to them. I like to tell them, but I don't have one of my own. I also don't have a permanent address or a pickup truck or any change of clothes. I wash my laundry in the river, and in that moment, I am truly free. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Do you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud Piazzolla at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated a soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest! Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground then. Doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see in here. I try to help with the maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep trying gears, I guess. Ezra runs up to Shannon.
Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck.
Do you have batteries?
Yeah, of course. What for?
Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery.
Oh, fun. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit.
Thank you.
Hi, Dashel. No, go in the fucking door. Oh, I'm Ezra now.
Really?
You were entranced. You don't remember this.
It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts.
Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic.
Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Claire.
Oh. Buddy boy. You have been blessed by Bridge. Bridge wants to give you some free dose. Yeah. Treat dose for the boy. Buddy. You know the drill at this.
He feasts. The tail entering frame is it's just Sorry, Clara.
Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight.
That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean.
How long is the trip? We've got a ways to go, and this boat makes pretty frequent stops. I think Kate said we're moving pretty slowly tonight, too. Weather.
Kate said we could stop at the rum colony. Cyrano's playing.
Well,
That's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago.
3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there.
I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting.
Nah, it's river time. No one expects you to be punctual.
Hey, why don't you go give that tape recorder a try? See if the cat over there has anything he wants to say.
I often use found sounds in my music. If you find any interesting sounds tonight, you can come help me out.
Sir? Anyway, Conway's arm is now skeletal also. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here.
Neither can I.
Damn noisy river. It's just that thing about, what was it, when you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something, as soon as you pass from one room to another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep?
You found beer.
There's a cooler full down there. This ain't just floated by, if you believe that. Got caught up in some net and they hauled it aboard. A bounty. Anyway, there's a sign by the cooler. Take what you need and leave the rest. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah. Better keep that kid away from the edge. Person could easily fall in. He's been exploring.
He seems to keep himself entertained.
It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? Look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question.
I thought you didn't drink.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out, finally wind up back at Lizette's with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't be much. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyway. One time she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. I came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it. She said I didn't have to deserve it.
She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that.
Oh, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. That girl was wild. I guess she's got her own problems now. I wish I could help out. Hey, maybe I can make some money and send it to her sister. Maybe they'll keep me on at the distillery. I mean, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I gotta repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you gotta settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. The Echo River, it's the 0 for boat. However, I think that is the perfect transition point for us to call it there. Thank you all so much for dropping by. I very much appreciate it. I hope that you all have a lovely remainder of your Thursday evening, wherever it may be. And I think with that, I shall bid you all a good evening. And yeah, take care. Goodbye, everybody. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.